Welcome to YouTube.com, YWC, wrestling fans in general. I am your host, Bizarre1000, with an epic Raw review. Guys, Raw was off the chain tonight. It was an awesome show. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Start off Raw. Now, going into Raw, I was having a really bad day. Because my favorite wrestler, which if you guys follow me on here or on Twitter, you guys know that I'm a huge Daniel Bryan fan. And it just seemed, making Daniel Bryan lose in 18 seconds, they just made Daniel Bryan a huge star. Because looking at all the chants, which I'm sure you know, the Let's Go Bryan chants, or We Want Bryan. I mean, so much awesome stuff tonight, guys. Start off with Johnny introducing himself to everybody. CM Punk said he speaks for the fans, which is so cheesy. I was like, really? I speak for half the guys in here. And wow. Anyway, ended up matching up being announced that it'll be CM Punk vs. Mark Henry for the world title. And then we get a triple threat match. Santino defends his U.S. title against Dolph and Jack. So that ends up, actually we ended up having The Rock come out first. And The Rock comes out and basically says, comes out and talks about how epic their match was last night. It was a great match, couldn't have done it without John Cena. But they did have a really great match. I gotta give it to them. The Rock was a little winded, but I mean, The Rock, but the icing on the cake was The Rock says he does want to be the WWE champion. So in the near future, possibly this could mean we could see The Rock on a permanent basis for a while to come back and compete to become a #1 contender. And this would be epic to see, I think. That's my opinion on that. First match was a three-way, triple threat, three-way, whatever you want to call it. Santino ends up keeping his belt. They're mad. Then they go to jump him, and he runs away, and Brodus Clay's standing there. He got his back. I guess it's going to be a new tag team. Brodus Clay and Santino. Whatever, I don't care. So Dolph goes on at him, he gets nailed, which is pretty awesome. But throughout the night, guys, we would hear these new chants that seem to emerge. The yes chants. Daniel Bryan's catchphrase. Some people are very annoyed with it. And like this right here is meant with all kinds of love, because I have nothing but love and respect for these guys. Most Extreme Wrestling, especially Crystal. Yes, you might hate Daniel Bryan, you're happy he's over, or he's not the champ anymore, but now he officially is, in my opinion, he's over. These yes chants have been popping up everywhere. And it could be turned into the new what chants, which I think it's time for the what to be retired. Because that was getting so lame and boring. Because yes chants, I don't know, it was so funny that Miami was rocking tonight. I mean, throughout the night you could hear Daniel Bryan was like trending, which who really cares if you trend? I mean, trending is just Twitter crap. I'm on Twitter, but I'm just saying, I get kind of annoyed with the Twitter and the WWE, it seems like. But I mean, it just seems like Daniel Bryan was being talked about all night long, and he didn't even have a match. He was in it on TV. I guess him and Sheamus wrestled in a dark match, I heard. But whatever. But I mean, Daniel Bryan is, if it continues like this, I mean, I can't wait to see what happens on SmackDown now, but Daniel Bryan, it seems that, I mean, he just got made into a superstar overnight after the WWE does everything for a reason. If you look at the big picture, they made Daniel Bryan lose. A lot of Internet Darling fans' favorite wrestler right now, and I'm a huge Daniel Bryan fan. I cannot wait for the new yes shirts to come out. I'm gonna buy one. But Daniel Bryan was like over tonight like crazy. And but we got the triple threat match out of the way. We did have a world title match they talked about. We also had we had some other stuff happen on Raw tonight that was pretty freaking sweet. I'll get into that in a little bit. We had the debut of A-Train made his debut tonight. Mark Henry faced Sheamus in a really good match. Or Sheamus. Mark Henry faced CM Punk for the WWE title in a good match price now. Mark Henry ends up picking up the win, but not how he wanted. So he beats up Punk after the match. And then it was funny. You caught this or not? John Laurinaitis said there was a natural disaster coming to CM Punk before Jericho comes makes his return again and jumps him and throws supposed alcohol on him. But you know what's funny about that? A natural disaster is considered an F5. F5 natural disaster. Ha 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 ha. That's a clue. But then we have Sheamus come out and talk a bunch of crap. And as soon as Sheamus music hits, the crowd booed him like crazy. They were booing him. And he said the crowd wants to only hear me talking, and then he started talking to the crowd. They're like, boo, we hate you, pretty much. I mean, it was like, dang. The WWE did it again. I mean, they pissed off a lot of fans by taking it. People might hate Daniel Bryan. You might love him, you might hate him. But you know, when it gets inside the ring, when he's in that ring, no one can go like Daniel Bryan. And people feel like they were robbed of a great match by Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. And I agree with that. I feel like I was robbed. I paid for the pay-per-view. I feel like I was robbed of seeing Daniel Bryan and Sheamus tear the roof off the place, which there was no roof on it, but still. But this all leads up to we could be seeing WrestleMania Revenge, like they used to have Backlash, used to be called WrestleMania Revenge. Well, anyway, Sheamus is backstage, and if they would have brought Daniel Bryan out, that would have been a big mistake, because Daniel Bryan would have been getting cheered like crazy if they would have brought him out. But Del Rio comes out, does a talk, and the crowd started doing see. It was kind of funny. And so he ends up bro kicking him eventually. His mic quit working. And we see Daniel Bryan watching on the monitor, TV, whatever, backstage. And Josh Matthews goes up to Daniel Bryan and he's like, Daniel Bryan, what are your thoughts? He says, thank you, Daniel, for your time. He just looks at him. And the crowd popped like crazy for Daniel Bryan. You know, wouldn't they? All night they kept showing John Cena crap. And we see Cody Rhodes lose to Kofi because Big Show. Keep hearing about The Rock and Cena again because Cena's going to make a statement. And it continued, I swear, through every single match tonight. I either heard a yes, yes, yes chant or I heard we want Bryan, we want Bryan. I mean, I know Crystal from Most Extreme is going to hate this. I can just imagine what the review's like because she's going to be like, man, really? Shut up already. I can just imagine. It's funny. I love these guys. Check out Most Extreme Wrestling, but I mean, she's just going to hate it because she hates Captain Boring, as she calls him. But she's going to hate him even more that if this continues, and the way it's looking, it will, that Daniel Bryan is becoming this superstar after that squash match. So all you internet fans out there who are mad about that, begin to get happy because it's looking like Daniel Bryan is becoming a made superstar right now. I mean, we're going to that era of a new era in wrestling, as we like to call it. Johnny would like to call it tonight. A different, sort of like the Stone Cold era in a little bit. When Stone Cold first Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13, I believe it was WrestleMania 13, that street fight, and Bret Hart went into the match going as the good guy, and Stone Cold was the bad guy. Well, after that match, Stone Cold was revered he was never turned face, but then he was. The crowd turned him face, which something similar like that could happen. But I kind of like this Daniel Bryan angle because it's like, man, you just destroyed one of our favorite one of our favorite wrestlers. You squashed him. But then what do? They go on and make Daniel Bryan an even bigger star. Doing these little yes, and it started picking up each week. If Daniel Bryan would have won that match somehow, this wouldn't be blowing up right now like this. But since Daniel Bryan got screwed, everyone feels like their favorite wrestler, like I did too, feels like he got screwed over, so they're all mad and they're revolting against it. And so that's what's happening with Daniel Bryan. People are gonna hate it. I love it personally because I'm a huge Daniel Bryan mark. Speaking of mark out moments, stay tuned. Eve Torres comes out and says how she helped Team Johnny good. I can care less. She sucks. We have a quick match. Jack Swagger gets squashed by Miz. And then the moment everyone's been waiting for. John Cena in his little blue shirt, the green shirt, whatever it was, comes out. And the crowd's like, yes, 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 because he lost the Rock. You're a loser. This crowd is awesome tonight. And then throughout a little bit, you hear, we want Lesnar. We want Lesnar. And at one point, before I'll get to that, he says, yes, yes, yes. Says, Daniel Bryan, you owe me for that. And they're like, we want Bryan. And then, this time, his music hit. Brock Lesnar makes his return. He comes in the ring, stares down Cena. He does his little thing. He says, I'm Brock Lesnar, pretty much putting in his shirt. I'm Brock Lesnar, in case you didn't know. Shakes Cena's hand. They cut the crop for some reason. And next thing you know, he's on Cena is on Brock's shoulders, and Brock delivers an F5. Now, what does this mean? Guys, what does this mean? Brock's back. For how long? Is he back? The rumors is he signed a 1-year contract. Is this just for WrestleMania? Brock Lesnar is a very health risk wrestler, really, because of some serious health issues he's had. How long can he be back for? I mean, there's so much stuff up in the air with Brock Lesnar. I mean, wrestling's exciting. We'll see what's going to happen on SmackDown. Wrestling is exciting again. So, I mean, we'll see what happens now. I mean, is this just for a WrestleMania match we're going to see? Will we see a storyline develop with Brock Lesnar maybe not a part of the WWE? He just showed up. If they want to do that, they shouldn't have had him come out to entrance music from the back. If they're going to do a story where he doesn't have a contract, they should have had him jump from the crowd and jump in. That's what they should have done. But, guys, that's pretty much Monday Night Raw, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially the Daniel Bryan chants. Yes, yes, yes. I enjoyed it. Yes, yes, yes. And, Crystal, I hate to say this, Daniel Bryan has just became your worst nightmare. Because it looks like he's here to stay. It looks like he will be getting his rematch at Extreme Rules. So, guys, for Most Extreme, check out Most Extreme Wrestling. This is Bizarre 1000, your host. I will check you guys later on this week. So, guys, enjoy your weekend, or week, I should say. Next week is still to come. So, can't wait to stay tuned.